Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 45 of Direwolf20's Let's Play Create Above and Beyond series, where I'm making a new ender chest. Because I made just a few things between episodes. Couple updates, couple minor tweaks and things. One thing is we talked about wanting to automate oak planks, and I pretty much did that, I think. So over here I've got my oak plank chest. You can see I kind of just crammed it into my existing area here. I'm going to replace this chest with this ender chest, which has oak logs in it, which is the same color ender chest for the charcoal, and I'll show you where that's hooked up in a second. But as you can see, we're kind of doing this and this and this. Remember with saws, the saw for oak planks can make all kinds of different things, including oak planks. So make sure you filter it by just right-clicking an oak plank on the recipe filter there, and then you'll be in good shape. Cool? So easy peasy. Oak planks for days. Look at how great that is. Not too bad, right? Not bad at all. Not bad at all. It's a little bit slow, but my hope is that it'll just back stuff, and then, you know, if I need to speed this up at some point, I absolutely can. But I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem. I think we just leave it, and you know, if we need to do something, it's fine. Other things I changed between episodes is some of my numbers I noticed I could make a little bit more efficient. So two things. One, if you remember last episode, we were making the number 9 by doing 6 plus 3, and we were making the number 6 by doing 7 minus 1. Both of those can just be made with 3. I was a little bit focused on using one of every number, and less so on being as efficient as possible with the 3s and 8s that I had access to. So I changed 6 to be 3 plus 3, and I changed 9 to be 3 times 3. And that should make things a little bit better. So we can see here that I've got a 3 times 3 makes the 9, and that's pretty cool. So that's a little bit more efficient. Also, I got rid of the extra 1 maker because the extra 1 was coming from the 6. And now that's 3 plus 3, so we don't really need that anymore. In addition, the way we were doing things before was definitely a little bit slow. So now things should be nice and cool. It's nice and backstuffed. I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to 32. Before I do that, though, I want to clean out my inventory real fast. Come on, there you go. Thanks, Chief. So let's bump this number up to 32. I already bumped him up to 24. So you can see as soon as I do that, everything starts crafting pretty nicely. And it's all working beautifully. It backstuffs nicely. It doesn't overflow. Everything is nice and automated. So minor tweaks to make it a little bit more efficient. The way I had it before was not a big... It didn't not work. Though I'm a little concerned. I think having the 9... turn into a 1 was not a good idea at the end, so I wound up just removing that whole piece altogether. Because having a Terminator, like I said, was going to be probably a good idea, and I think it turned out that it was. So long story short, things are going smoothly now. What you'll note is that like 9s fill up pretty quickly, so that'll rapidly get to 32, because we're not using 9s for anything. And the same for 6. 6 rapidly gets to 32. Then 7 is 8 minus 1, so that starts to back stuff pretty quickly. 4 minus 3 is how we get 1, so 1's the next one that backstuffs. So you can see 1 there is going to start backstuffing. Once 1 backstuffs, it's 8 divided by 2, let's see, is 4. So 4 will backstuff after that. So 1 backstuffs, and then 4 backstuffs, and then finally 5 backstuffs. Right? So that's kind of the order in which our numbers will backstuff here, because they're kind of used sequentially, right? One number turns into another number, turns into another number, turns into another number. The way I built it. And obviously there's, you know, 6 different ways you could build it. There might be a slightly more efficient way to go, but this works out pretty well for me, at least for now. So in today's episode, what I'd like to work towards is probably the following. So contraption 45. For the calculations of the guidance computer, we'll need a lot of these digits. Before letting items exit the logistical ecosystem of the calculations, make sure each digit leaves in equal amounts. Brass tunnels can solve this issue in a straightforward fashion. Each digit now has to be dissolved back into its liquefied form via the smeltery. Once the smeltery collected 10 liquefied items of each digit, they combine into the encoded logic required for a computer. Once enough of this figurative alloy has accumulated, it can be cast into the powerful computation matrix. The guidance computer requires 8 matrices to function depending on your data center and mechanism assembly lines. This may take a while. So let's see. We're going to need 10 millibuckets of each number to make 50 millibuckets of computational matrix. And then we need 1 bucket. So we basically need 20 sets of these to make a computational matrix, right? So, 20 sets of the 10 millibucket, and each number is 1 millibucket. So, yeah, they're right. I'm going to need a lot of numbers, aren't I? That is absolutely true. So, long story short, we're going to want to get cooking. So, let's do that now. Everything should be nice and stabilized at this point. Let's see, yeah. Number 5 is, I said, one of the last ones to back stuff, and it's on its way now. Everything else is at 32, right? Yeah, buddy. Couple 31s, that's going to be your 8s and 3s, maybe the minus sign, right? But yeah, once 5 hits 32, then everything's going to be fully backstuffed, and then we're good to go. Nice. And then 8 and 3, obviously, are the very last ones to backstuff. All right, cool. So I'm going to go prep what I need to do to get this. We're going to need a bunch of grout, because I'm going to want a 2 tall one of these, so that he has room for 10 items, right? Because a 1 tall one of these is only going to have room for 9 items, and that's obviously not what we're going to want. We're going to want 10 items, so I'm going to get a bunch of grout, and we'll be right back. All right, we should be good here now, if I'm not mistaken. Look at this. Good stuff. Nice. So I've got 1 layer, and then 2 layers. That'll do. So then what I'm thinking is we just get a retriever module over here, okay? And he's just going to retrieve straight into this guy. Now the retriever gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slots. That's not going to be enough. So we're going to want the, from the pipes mod, that extra retrievers increase filter doohickey thing. And that's going to go in there. And then, I don't want the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? What we realistically want is 1 of every number. Okay? And that's pretty much what we're going to have. Okay? So for the filter increase, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Now when I throw all these numbers in here, but not my time in a bottle, and then give it some fuel, they should all melt down rather nicely. Bing! And then combine-ish into all the things. Maybe we need 10 of each number before that will happen. Now I am a little bit concerned, because I have a small sneaking suspicion. I would like to guarantee that all numbers get in there at the same time. And that might be a challenge for me. What I should do is route these into a temporary storage, check if there's 10 objects in the storage, and then once there are, clip them all into there all at once. That might be the better route. I like that a little bit better, and I'll tell you why. Because these don't craft at the same speed. And granted, it literally says in the quest you should make an effort to make sure that all your numbers are being produced at the same rate. And they're not. They're definitely not. Which is a little bit of a nuisance. It's not terrible, but it's not ideal. So maybe I'll start with compensating for the fact that I'm not doing that perfectly yet. Then try to adjust my crafting to see if I can get it to that point. Or it's not too bad, really. It's just a little bit behind. It's just that a couple of the numbers, the way it's working right now is some of the ladder numbers are used in sequence, and so it's not ideal, right? Basically, like 8 minus 3 turns into 5, and then 5 minus 3 turns into 2, and then 2 is used to get 4, and 4 is used to get 1, and 1 is used to get 7. Everything else is made on its own, but that is like a sequence of numbers. I'm going to try and break that up and see if I can use one of the 6s or 9s to split that up a little bit, and I think I probably can. I'll just have to like rearrange my math now that I've thought about it a different approach. But first things first, let's get a buffer chest of sorts into here. So what I'm thinking is we could just have like a chest here, and we could route the items into the chest here, and then detect when you've got one of each number. Does that sound like a plan? I like that. So if I just do this, right? Now I want to make sure that you've also got a stack limiter. So let's get one of those set to 1. Because I only want one of each number in here then. Okay. So if I do that, everything should recraft, right? But watch what happens. We backstuff our 1, and then we backstuff our 4, and then we backstuff our 2, and then we backstuff our 5. So it's literally 7, 1, 4, 2, 5. These guys in order. So 5 is like one of the... It takes 5 iterations of this machine to get a 5 produced. And that's not ideal. So we want to fix that. And we will, but let me get counting these numbers in place better. So I think I'm going to try the stockpile switch for this and see if it works. So that would be you. So can you emit a redstone signal when we have exactly 10 items in this chest? That is pretty much what I would like to see here. You think you could work like facing downward? Because that would be super cool. I'm thinking not. I'm thinking he might need to be out the side, which is not the end of the world, right? So you, and then a little bit of redstone. Let's get ready to sleep again, because it's literally always night. Okay. Did you just do something? You shouldn't. Good, there's still 10 items in there. Good. Because I was hoping that that redstone signal didn't propagate up to there, but we'll see. Actually, I'm going to start it here for now. So, content observer. No filter. No filter. Somebody told me, I think it was Rorax actually, if I remove my chest plate, it lets me remove the filter. It's like a bug with Tinker's Construct's armor. For some reason, having this chest plate equipped prevents you from being able to remove the filter, but you should be able to click with an empty hand to remove the filter. So that's cool. Okay. So where are you at? You're at there? Is that where you are? Yeah, I would really like to be able to say exactly 10 items. Oh, that's not ideal, but that's okay. We can fix. All right, let me play with this a little bit. All right, guys, we're back. So I had to do a little bit of math, but I've come up with a way to do this. If we set our lower lane to 4% and our upper lane to 0%, and we set the threshold here to stack 7 of each number, it comes out right. Because remember, this is measuring the total amount that can fit in this inventory. So assuming you have 64 stacks and there's 27 slots, it can hold 1,728 items, right? Then if we multiply that by 4%, that's the magic number, because that gets us pretty close to about 70. It's actually 69.12, which is bigger than 69, which is the key. Because we need to store 10 of each item in here, right? So realistically, 69 items doesn't hit the 4% value, because 4% is 69.12, but 70 items does hit the value. So as you can see, with the way it's currently set up, where it moves to the upper lane at 0 and the lower lane at 4%, if we take all the items out, the redstone signal turns off, right? Now if we put all the numbers in, the redstone signal turns on, okay? So it doesn't turn off until all the numbers are out for the most part. It has to remove the full stack at a time though. But all the items going in, check this out. We have all but one, and there's no redstone signal. We put in the 70th item, redstone signal on. And that's what we're after. So you can play with this if you want, but trust me that this is probably the best way to go with it. You know, if we had lower numbers, then what would happen is it would turn on the redstone signal before we had everything we want. So this should be cool. This is what I'll call cool. Okay. Now, can I just put you here and then have this guy? Now, the problem is we're going to need a lot of space in here or not? Yes, because they won't allow a stack of items in. Right. Or, well, yeah. No. Yeah. Let me go get a redstone control guy and see what we can do about this. Because basically I want this to toggle and go. So is there a pipes module for redstone controlliness? I assume there is. Yeah, there is. Cool. And that is a utility module. So give me... Do we not have any extra utility modules? Okay. So give me an andesite machine, or yeah, I'll just do one. And we're going to turn all 4 of these into redstone modules, and that should be cool. And then while we're at it, let me get an extractor. I think a medium extractor module might be good. High might be cool, but yeah, let's do high so I don't have to mess with the whole number thing. Although, yeah, let's just do high. It'll probably be the right use case for this. Okay, so you're going to want a redstone module, and then you're going to want an extractor module. And I want to make sure that allows disabling the pipe with a redstone signal, works for both extraction and receive. Okay, so I can't say you need a redstone signal. I can disable you with a redstone signal. Got it. So if I were to put, now here's my question, a torch here, would this be viable? So if I put you in, he's not going to be allowed to send anything, right? Okay, that's what I want. And then basically we're going to want to have, yeah, he's going to be all tricky about it. But if I did this, it would work, right? Now I would also like this guy to get disabled with his redstone signal. Is that not a thing? Oh, he's full because of the stack limiter, the filter increase, and the retrieval. That's a bummer. That's a little bit of a bummer. Filter increase is killing me, Smalls. So I'm wondering if I can use the adjustable crate to solve this problem. I might be able to. Now this is going to make a little bit of a mess when I break this. That's okay. If I replaced you with an adjustable crate. So adjustable crates, yeah, you're going to be a bit of a mess, but that's okay. Let's magnet you up, please. You and you. Come over here, you guys. Thank you. If I set you to 640 items, that would be 10 slots, right? And you can shift to do stacks at a time. So you can store 640 items. So 1% would be the value I want. Okay, so let's see. If you've got a redstone signal here, and we wanted one of each number. So let me put these guys back. But I want you to be 1. And we connect you. He should emit a redstone signal when we get all numbers filled in. %. Oh, I see. Right. Hold on. No. So 10%, or 1% of 64 is 6. 2% would be 12. That's not what we want. But I could say, so realistically we want 1%. If I did 1,000, that would be 1%, right? So if I broke you and I took all this out, then you should be 0. Let me actually put some junk away real quick. Okay. Nine. Redstone signal on. Isn't 1% of 1,000? Let me play with this for a sec. Yeah, no, this works. I set it to 950, and that's good enough for me, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, and then when the last digit goes in, boom, redstone signal on. And then redstone signal doesn't turn off until the chest is completely empty. That's what I want. Yeah, let's do that with an adjustable crate. That's better, because now I don't really have to worry so much about toggling this. Well, I should toggle this still, but I'll figure that out in a sec. So let me put all you guys back in here. Cool. And then let me figure out how I'm going to handle this bit next. So you need the redstone guy still, and you need the extractor guy still. And I'm thinking the redstone torch bit still needs to be there. Oh, well, yeah, I guess not. But yeah, that's about what I want. That's about what I want. And we should have 2 millibuckets of everything now. Cool. All right, now let me figure out how I'm going to turn this off, because that's going to be the real challenge. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. What if we had 2 input pipes? So we could remove the filter increase, and we get 6 slots here, and we get 6 slots here. That adds up to 12. So I can just do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these guys will go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six, 7, 8, 9, 0. Can go in the back. Zero. And then once you're full, boom, he'll start transferring the items. Once I route the redstone appropriately. How am I going to want to do that? Probably like this. That works, right? And then the redstone doesn't turn back on until boom. How cool is that? All right. Yeah? Now, you guys need to be disabled with a redstone signal. So we're going to want to... I guess the question is, will you be disabled like that? I guess we're going to have to, well, yeah. I mean, I assume that you need to, like, face into the pipe kind of deal, right? So let me see if I can route the redstone in an intelligible way here. But basically, we want this to be enabling the redstone signal when it's not full. And then when it is full, we want these two to be turned off. So I assume this is not going to work, right? Something like that. I got to assume that's not going to work, but let's test it. So you should fill up now. Cool. And then if I remove the 5, let's give you a redstone signal strength on, just so that you're, like, pretend he's full, right? Or I could just do this. I have this removed for a sec. So what I could do is connect this guy. And then he should fill up the other numbers, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Boom, the light's on. I removed this redstone dust so that he wouldn't pull out yet, right? Now, if I take the 0 out of here, what I would want is the 0 not to be restocked until this redstone signal turns off. But it did, which means that, as expected, that I just didn't know how these pipes would handle that, but I assumed this wouldn't work, and I was correct. So yay me. I could use red alloy wire, though. Red alloy wire could work. Yes, is good. I might need to force the connection a little bit with some Project Red stuff that, like this stuff. Yeah. This might be the way to go. We'll see if this works. Because if I can get you guys to behave, that would be super cool. Yeah, that's not what I want. I'd really like you to connect to here, but I assume you're not going to want to do that. I wonder if it'll traverse through the block. Right? Like, what if we put it here and here? Right? Would that work, you think? Help, help, I'm trapped in my contraptions. That could work. So, like that-ish? Oh, he doesn't want to, okay. So what if we did a regular redstone dust, like you, but then you run down and connect this guy? Will you go through the block? I was really hoping you would. So what I could do... wonder if you'll run... It's possible this will work. Probably not, though, right? We just have to get this redstone to connect in a nicer way. Let me play a bit. Ooh, now check this out. He connects underneath. That's cool. I can't get him to connect on the side, but he will connect on the bottom. That works for me, right? That could help. That's funny. I can't connect him to the bottom of that block, though. Ha. Okay. I think I may have done it. I think I got it working. So check this out. He's not refilling. That works for me. So you ready? All right. So what I did was, from here, I just kind of looped it underneath. And you can see these guys are connected to the cobble. And that seems like it works. So in theory, now that I removed the 1 and the 0, it shouldn't restock them. And that's kind of cool. So now in theory, if I pop this redstone down, what it'll do is it'll extract the items. It'll wait until this chest is empty before it requests another batch. Oh, I might be giving you a redstone signal under there. Yeah, I have to fix that. Hang on. It's because I'm doing it that way. I should probably just loop it around this way. And I should do it with dirt anyway, just because it looks a little bit nicer. Depending on your definition of nicer. Come on. That's a little better. So then you're going to want to go... There we go. Down here this way. And hopefully that won't cause no problems. Now what's interesting is you're not connecting to the dirt, so it might need to be cobble. If I remove the 0 and the 1 now, are you going to restock? No? Okay, well that's good. That's cool. Now if I reconnect your dust, are you going to extract? No problem. Yes. And then he's going to... Just going to stop him for a sec. With just the 9 and 1 in there, it's still not empty. So he's not going to restock until he's completely empty. Now that he's completely empty, he's no longer allowed to extract, but he's allowed to restock. And he won't be able to extract until he's fully stocked. Now he can extract again. Then he's allowed to restock. And he's not allowed to restock until he's empty again. So even if this backstuffs for some reason, like let's say we ran out of lava, right? It would backstuff, right? Or we ran out of 5s, right? It would not allow to extract until, you know, we had more 5s. Cool? I think this kind of works. It's a little convoluted, but it's a Direwolf 20 episode. Thank you very much. It's gonna be convoluted. But I think it's actually pretty darn perfect. And that's kind of cool. And then what we should get at some point... Everybody's crafting again, which is cool. Alright. Now, we might run into a problem with, like, 5s, for example. Because 5s are one of the last ones to back stuff, but it's not that big a deal. Right? And what we should get... is there's our first liquefied computation matrix. That's cool. That's cool. All right, not too shabby. Now, can I filter that? Because there is a drain that can filter. I think there's a filter drain. Seared. Filtered smeltery fluid input and output using copper cans or buckets. But we're going to need some cobalt ingots. And how much liquid can a can hold? Is it a bucket's worth? One ingot of fluid. Whatever that means. One, 2. Probably 144 is usually what an ingot is. All right. So seared, because we want to make sure that we only extract the computational matrix into the things. And I might move you. And if I want this to stop happening, all I really need to do is that. And then what'll happen is he'll refill, but he won't extract anymore. And that'll stop the whole works. Okay? So if we took a look at this, where we're at right now, you can see 5s we're getting low on, as predicted, and 2s, right? But eventually we'll backstuff everything. So like I said, I might need to tweak the way some of these crafts are done, just to... Basically, like I said, it works backwards from the 6s, so it's the 7, 1, and then whatever else is here. 4, 2, 5, in that order, backstuffs. So the 5 is going to take the longest to have enough of, right? And that's going to be a problem for us. So we'll deal with that in a moment. But for now, let me just rearrange this guy a little bit. I'm just going to swap you guys out. So I'd like you to be the seared dude, and then the bricks, and then the thing, and then you should still have all my computational stuff, right? Yeah, let's get you going again. So he should be back to working. Yeah, buddy. This works so nice. I'm very proud of me. Took me a minute, but I figured out a good solution, I feel like. I think it's cool, right? And then we should have 8 of everything. This really should be darn perfect, right? And then we're going to have 9 of everything, and then we're going to have 100 millibuckets of everything. Right, that's 9. So the next iteration of this will get me the 10 that I need. It's kind of cool, right? It's kind of cool. It actually does work. It may not be perfect, but it's close. So what's the thing that I want here? These guys called? They're called cans. Do we have any of those? We do have some, so no reason to make more. And then can I just click these, or do I have to drain it? I might have to drain it. We'll see once I get 150. So let's give it a minute to get to the 150 mark, and we'll be right back. All right, so that should be 150 millibuckets of this stuff. Now, can I just scoop it right out? This is where I put the filter in. Got it. I bet if I got a casting table temporarily. No, you stay, actually. And then you, and then you. Huh. Can I not get that liquid into a thing? No, it says I can. 144 millibuckets into a casting table copper can. Oh, maybe because you're the filtered one. Yeah, let me replace you with the normal drain. Probably because of that. Yeah. I need you to tell me what to be filtered into. So you're going to go here, and then you can drain. Aha! So it needs to have a filter. Today we learned. Cool. And then we can swap you. And you know what I might do? I might put you here. Just in case I ever need this again. Right? But now I can say you're allowed to drain that guy. Oh, and you need to keep the can? You need to keep the can? How rude. You know what bothers me about that now? Is now we have 6 millibuckets of liquefied computational matrix that I don't want. So you know what I'm going to do? Void it. Void it. That's what we're going to do. Because, I mean, that's six millibuckets that we don't need and don't want. And that would just be annoying. Because remember, to make this, we need 1 block, which is 1 bucket, which is 20 iterations, right? So that's fine. So now you should be cool. Now, if I gave you a redstone signal, I assume you're just going to pour constantly whenever you have the stuff. Probably true. All right, so let's wrap up the episode here. What I'm going to do between episodes is I'm going to start working towards thinking about how to make these last 4 numbers. So realistically, it's let me rehash for you guys where we're at with the numbers thing, just so you can see what I'm going to fix. So here's where we're at, right? So these bottom 3, the 6, the 9, and the 0, all use pure natural 3s and 8s, right? the 8 minus 3 has to get 5, then we use the 5 to get a 2, then we use the 2 to get a 4, and then we use the 4 to get a 1. That's horrible. And then we use the 1 to get a 7. That's bad, because it basically means we need to produce 5 5s in order to get this going. So what I should do is rearrange it so that, like, maybe we'll use the 6 and the 9 a little bit more. Like, we could use a 6. We could use the 9 to get something. We'll figure it out. How about 9 minus 8 is 1? And then that makes that happen. So we'll kind of tweak this a bit to be a little bit more balanced. Yeah, that might be the smarter way to go. So that we're not in sequence using a bunch of numbers. Yeah, I think that would be the smarter way. So what I'm going to do is break you guys once you're cleared out here. And then I'm going to change these numbers up. And what I'll do is I'll come back next episode and tell you what I came up with. But, like, low-hanging fruit here would be 9 minus 8 is 1. And then we're saving ourselves the 4, right? So I think that's what we're going to do. 9 minus 8 equals 1. And then I'll change a couple other numbers to see if we can make this less painful. For now, wrapping up point, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.